Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are here with the author, and today is Wednesday, so about this time of day is our usual time to check up and check in with the Fast 15. As you normally do or normally know, we take about 15 minutes to kind of pause, check up, check in, enjoy a note from any of the books or audio books, and we close out on a positive note with any announcements and updates. As you guys know, when life is lifing, sometimes you simply cannot wait until later in the day or the day after or the day after that. So I hope this time during the midday gives you a chance to kind of pause, reset, reboot. It's something that I use as well. So I hope that it provides the same opportunity for you and others. To stay connected with me, of course, add me here on the gram. Click on the link in the bio for my Linktree, linktr.ee/AuthorASnorton. From there, you can go ahead and get updates on, different interviews that have been done, the collaborative coffee brand with Fonte's Coffee, the AuthorASnorton blend, the Lens Depends podcast that's done in collaboration with Emery Rose Photography, all the social media, of course, different events that are coming up. So I'll make sure to provide a few announcements that are coming up at the end. So before I go into our little word of encouragement, I always like to shout out folks who've taken time to join me live. So ELOTHH, I know this wonderful person right here. Make sure to check her out at Maraca's Bar in Tucker, Georgia, whenever you're in the area. A great energy, a great spirit. Hope you're doing well. Brian David, 190611. What is going on with you? Hope you are doing well. Make sure to check him out and some of the creative things he's doing. And then Denise Powell, ATL. Always good to see you. I tell you what, when it comes to some different work going on with media, different events from business related, community related, she's definitely one to check out. So make sure to check out these folks that I shout out, because in their own way they're doing some things that we need to know about, professionally, community, or just being like really great people. So I know I'll get back out and about next week, but I'll explain that one in a minute. So before we go into a selection for our book from the day, which is going to be from one of the books I've written, I always want to give a word of encouragement to people and a word of celebration, because again, anytime that you're watching, we're all kind of maneuvering through a couple of different things here and there. So if you or someone you know is feeling it a little bit extra, it might be something that's family related, something that's related with people that you know, could be community related, could be health related, or what have you. Going through challenges, man, it's not easy. It's not easy. But if you or someone you know is catching a little bit of HAYLE, a little bit extra than normal, we're just going to go ahead and give you a word of encouragement. Do what you need to kind of just pause, catch your breath, identify the positive or constructive ways to make those next steps. So if what you're dealing with requires professional attention and you need that and you have access to it, by all means do so. If what you are going through means I just got to do a reset and reevaluate and start moving a little bit differently, do those things. But I'm just here to say we want you around, we need you around. Sometimes when you're going through something, you just feel like you're out there on an island. And just letting you know, there are people out there that do care and are concerned. Don't be fooled by some knucklehead saying some stupid fill in the blank. So there are people that care. On the flip side, there are people that are doing extremely well. You got out of bed to yes, exactly. We're going to speak to that in a minute. Got out of bed this morning. You fixed a meal. You walked outside. You had something positive happen where you work or within the context of your relationship or what have you. So if you're someone you know is going through some extra positives, please take time to reflect and take time to celebrate as well. You should. Just don't go over the top with the celebration, but please take time to celebrate, because you know what you've been led through in order to get to that next stop. So take time, feed off the positive energy. Let's think about our colleagues that might be going through it, because we may be going through it sooner than you think. So before I go any further, Nisi Star out in the DMV, man, check out this creative person who's still doing work in the salon industry, working hard, one of my PHAMIOY. Yes, I celebrate it with bronze ice cream. Man, look at here. Ice cream to oatmeal to Pop-Tarts to whatever. Because again, when you have been led through something, or you kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel and it's not like an oncoming vehicle, man, you need to celebrate. Shoot. So definitely DC start sticking around, because I got something for you. But yeah, but like I said, oh gosh, aim higher. I tell you what, DC start right here. I tell you what, one of the cool people who's, oh gosh, that just great spirit. So what we're going to do now, we're going to pause and take a selection from one of the books, like I always do. Usually, definitely we'll make sure to do so. But as you know, this time I always take a selection from one of the books for audiobooks. Now, I encourage you to take a look at the book, but hopefully there's some type of takeaway that's like, you know what, I never looked at things that way. So I'm going to pull a selection from my book, Nothing Minor. This is the third book that I wrote, and it focuses on my coverage of minor league baseball. Actually, the very first year I covered minor league ball back in 2019, so I was able to go all across the Southeast, the Carolinas, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Tennessee, able to actually cover the games. Interviewed a number of the players, a number of whom either are currently in the major leagues, or if they've since retired, have seen major league time, and just a couple, just catching up not only on the game, but a couple other little tidbits. So what I want to do is revisit one of the selections that I like going to, because there's really a cool story behind it. So here it goes. So again, this is from the book Nothing Minor, and this is from the beginning of chapter 2. And here's our selection. Every day, you're working on something new. You're continuously growing and getting in a consistent mindset. Since I was drafted back in 2016 out of high school, that's played a huge role in my career. Now, all of us have heard that word consistency. If you're going to get good at a skill, you've got to be consistent. Consistency goes through in more than just getting consistent when you work out. It can be consistent when you learn how to cook something. Consistency in your communication with your family, your friends, your helpmate, your spouse. Consistency in being there, showing up, being present. We hear that all the time. And these words, which were taken when I did an interview back in June of 2019, hit a little different, because they came from the player Taylor Trammell. Taylor Trammell's journey has been very interesting from the standpoint of getting drafted out of high school, which is something that happens in baseball. At the time, he was with the Cincinnati Reds system as their number one prospect, so he was the person who was supposed to be a fast riser. He got traded at the trade deadline, which for those of you who follow Major League Baseball know the trade deadline comes up tomorrow, July 31st. He's been with San Diego, Seattle, bounced around. Last year had stints with the Yankees and the Dodgers. So where is he now? He's actually starting right now for the Houston Astros because of injuries in their outfield. He is starting and playing a key role for them. So the consistency and sticking with it, and we know sometimes, like the Kenny Rogers song, you need to know when to hold him, know when to fold him. But here's still a young man pursuing his dreams, and it's taken a little bit longer, but now he's got a spot in Houston. So while I'm not the biggest Houston Astros fan, I'm a Yankees fan, but I do, any of these folks, they're pursuing their dreams. So shouts to Taylor Trammell. Shouts to all the folks, on the minor league level that are grinding it out each and every day for that call up, and, your future stars. So that's the message, consistency. If you're going to be good at something, you've got to be consistent. And we've heard that, but hearing that from somebody who has maneuvered through, had a few stops here and there, finally has a home in Houston for this season, that's awesome. So congratulations. And that's the message from Nothing Minor. So before I go into a couple of announcements, AJ Word Artist, please, if you are an author or someone who cares about their community, please connect with AJ Word Artist. He was kind enough to have me come on his platform, I'd say about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. So I know at some point I need to circle back. But if you're on the West Coast, the best coast, however you want to call it, please check out AJ Word Artist doing some great work. And speaking of the West Coast, if any of you guys are in the Pacific, whether it's Hawaii or any of the other islands or the Pacific coast of the U.S., please be careful with what's going on with this pending hurricane and the tsunami byproducts, all that type of point. Please get the info you need, take precautions, get to where you need to go as safe and sound as possible. So as we pivot and go ahead and go into a couple of announcements and updates, let's see. Upcoming events. August 1st, that is this Friday, starting at 5:15 p.m. in Portsmouth, Virginia. Join me at the Printed Word Bookstore. I'll be doing an author's talk there. In addition to the author's talk, the bookstore is doing a school supply drive. So everyone that comes out, please bring school supplies. So the rundown will be pretty simple from about 5:15 to 5:45, giving people time to get there because it'll be after work. Then from 5:45 to 6:30, we'll do our author's talk. We'll have a welcome from the owners and the staff at the Printed Word Bookstore. Then Jazzy B for Real, Virginia's finest, will be serving as the host moderator. So she'll have a couple of questions for me on all the books, the audio books. I will have limited bags of the AuthorASnorton blend coffee as well. Then we'll open up questions to the audience. Then around 6:30ish, we'll pivot into the book signing part. So that way you or a colleague can pick up your copy of Nothing Minor and any of the other books that I'll have. And then we'll wrap up probably about 7:15ish. So that way folks can get back out, enjoy their evening, things of that nature. So shouts to the Printed Word Bookstore, Jazzy B for Real, and all the great people that are out in Portsmouth, Suffolk, Norfolk, Hampton, Newport News. Make sure to come out, check me out. Emery Rose Photography was just talking about you, and we're going to run it back in a little bit. August 28th, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the Book House in Winston-Salem. I had an amazing experience when I did an author's talk there in January of 2024. So I'll be back August 28th. Similar type of setup. After work, get there between like 5:15 to 5:45. I will have fellow author and poet Lavinia Jackson serving as my host and moderator. And shouts last year to my Rainbow is Here, Risha Tanay, who did a wonderful job last year. So this year, keeping it with fellow authors and stuff. So you know how we do when we get a chance to chop it up. So Lavinia Jackson will be the host, the moderator. So that will be August 28th, starting about 5:15, Winston-Salem, North Carolina at the Book House. This past weekend, shouts to Emery Rose Photography, who's joining us online like some of the other folks. I'm going to make sure to shout out everybody as we are coming off on the press and media end covering PBR. This is the Professional Bull Riding Circuit. So they do a team competition set up now. So we had a great experience at the Gas South District in Duluth, Georgia this past Saturday. There are 10 teams. Each team has 5 riders. You have to be on the bulls for a minimum of 8 seconds before you get a qualifying score. So we've been able to cover that collaboratively. I want to say the last 4 years, probably I think at least the last 4 years. So shouts to Emery Rose Photography for just being awesome. Best in Gwinnett through Gwinnett Magazine 4 of the last 6 years. So you definitely want to check them out and check out our podcast, Lens Depends Podcast, as we'll be working on some new episodes coming up for the month of August. Those are the main things that have just happened, as well as what's coming up. I was about to say, on the press and media end and the education-based services end, check out AuthorASnorton CCS, in person, virtual, all that, and then some, doing some amazing work. So I want to make sure, again, I acknowledge the folks who have joined live. So that's Emery Rose Photography. Make sure to check them out on the gram. AJ Word Artist, again, doing some great work with his stuff as a published author, helping fellow authors and then some. Nisi Star, if you're in the I was about to say the DMV, not the DMV, the DFW, Dallas Fort Worth. Make sure to check her out in regards to the great things that she's working on, and just a great spirit. All these people are like great spirits and what have you. I've actually like really talked with these people and have met them. Denise Powell, ATL, again, check her out in regards to the different things she's got going on, programming and all that type of thing. Brian David, 1906-11. So Brian David, keep doing the creative stuff that you're doing, good sir. Then, of course, I know I know I'm overdue, so make sure to holler at my girl Eloth, Elothh. Make sure to holler at her and check her out at Maracas Bar. The great people there who I actually did an author's talk there this past June. But I know I gotta come back for $2 Tuesday. I mean, for Taco Tuesdays where the tacos are $2. No, they're good though, and they have the beverage specials, food specials, all that. They actually had a great benefit event. Excuse me, this past Saturday where they had the band Grits and Jelly Butter, and it was for one of the organizations that collects adult backpacks. So people had to purchase, it was a ticketed event, people had to purchase their, bring in the backpacks, have that with different supplies and stuff to help those adults in need. So like I said, there's some great people doing great things across the board. So of course, while I like to talk about the great things I'm doing, what makes me even greater is talking about the great people that I'm blessed to know and follow and like and share and all that and then some. So as we get ready to wind down, ladies and gentlemen, I hope today you found something encouraging, from what we shared. Again, we pulled from the book Nothing Minor. So even if you're not a baseball fan, definitely make sure to check it out. There's some great team lessons, life lessons that are in there. Thank you to every reader, fellow author, book club, bookstore, book festival, any organization that's supported with any of the books, the audio books, the coffee collab, any festival, speaking engagements. It's a blessing. I do not take it lightly. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I know we went a little bit over the target 15-minute time, but I hope that still, despite going a little bit longer today, that you found something that is going to help you, something that gives you time to pause and think about something. There's some things just with the people that popped up online that's like, hey, I need to, again, check out the great things that they're doing and be encouraged and be inspired, even with all who knows what breaking loose and the landscape being a lot different. And you do get a little bit tired at times. Seriously, you do. But take your time to get a little bit of rest, refresh, and just take steps at a time. So as we close out, I hope each and every one of you, your families, friends, loved ones, communities are as safe and sound as possible. You feel encouraged. You feel just a little bit different in a good way, a little bit different in a good way. And like I like to close out, whether small or big, a victory is a victory. Whether slow or swift, movement is movement. So keep it victorious, keep it moving. Portsmouth, Virginia, I'm going to see you this Friday. And everybody else, I'll see you around. All of you take good care, and I'll see you soon.